Are you being smart with me? If you're being smart with me, young lady, you're gonna be punished.
Punished for being smart?
For being a smart Alec.
Hello, party people, and welcome back to Smart Alec. Thank you so much for joining us. Woo!
Welcome back, everyone.
So exciting. I am really excited for today's episode. This is something that has been on my heart for a very long time. And I mean, you can ask Christian. Anytime we talk about this, I get so heated. And I just go on a long tangent rant. Yeah. And like several different times, I've wanted to make so many different videos pertaining to our topic today. And I couldn't figure out what was the best way to execute it. And here we are, you know, like I'm just like, we're going to do it. And I think that it's an important message to put out there. And I kind of want to explore it. So a little bit of a trigger warning. We are going to talk about eating disorders a little bit today, but the main topic of today is going to be body image and really about like social media and how it's kind of evolved over different generations. And this is a topic that fascinates me. And I think it's just really interesting, all of the different expectations that are placed onto women. And it's been like that for years and years and years. So I'm going to kind of give my take on something that made me really pissed off. It was a few months ago that this particular thing happened. And I'm just going to talk about it. And then we have a really awesome guest coming on. I've asked my grandmother to come on. My grandma was born in 1929. All right. Yes. And we're going to ask her what it was like, you know, growing up, you know, a woman, you know, and during that era. My mom's going to be on too. We'll be able to talk to her. She was born in the 50s, so it'll be kind of interesting to just see, you know, their take on things. But yeah, and then we also have Miss Zoe, of course. Zoe's one of our producers here, and she's going to be able to kind of open up a little bit on some serious topics. And it's going to be a good show. We will have a fun segment at the end. Me and Christian are doing a little couples questionnaire.
What? Nobody told me.
Oh, we are. And I'm going to win. Let me tell you this right now. I'm going to win. I'm going to kick your butt. And it's going to be a really good time. So please stick around and yeah, we'll get into it. So, all right. So pretty much the first topic I want to talk about here is on April 7th, 2021, Khloe Kardashian's assistant. I guess now it's come out that it was actually her grandmother. I guess the story's changed. Her grandmother accidentally posted a bikini photo of her, and the internet went wild. Okay? So this photo was spread everywhere across the internet, and it was a unfiltered photo. And to be honest, her body looked incredible. She looked amazing. And it was crazy. All these people, you know, honestly, a lot of women were like excited to see it because they were kind of like, wow, like, you know, this woman who obviously we know, she's worked, she had a show called Revenge Body, if you didn't know that. So she was all into like the fitness thing. She's worked very hard on her, you know, physique, you know, as far as that show went. And it was kind of a cool moment to see like the reality of like what women, you know, really look like, cellulite and all. We all have it. And I kind of saw it as like, oh my gosh, this is going to be, you know, this could be a really beautiful moment where the Kardashians, you know, Khloe Kardashian could own it and really set an amazing, you know, example for all of the young impressionable girls who follow this family. Unfortunately, that was not what happened. She, you know, ended up, they started like going after anybody who posted the image. And pretty much if you posted this image on any platform, it would be removed. And you know, allegedly, I guess people were getting threats of being like sued for sharing that image. And I was really sad by that because, you know, I understand, like, of course, like, when you're in the public eye, maybe sometimes there's certain photos that, you know, aren't going to be your favorite or going to be shared. But I think that we can do better. We can be better, and we can be better examples. And this wasn't one of those cases, in my opinion. So I want to share, she ended up coming out with a statement. Some of you probably have read it by now since this was a few months ago, but this really pissed me off. So I want to talk about it. So will you go ahead and show like the statement here on the side? All right, so this was Chloe's statement. So she said, for over a decade now, in photos, every single flaw and imperfection has been microanalyzed and made fun of to the smallest detail, and I'm reminded of them by the world. Chloe's statement continues, when I take that criticism to use as motivation to get myself in the best shape of my life and to even help others with the same struggles, I'm told I couldn't have done it through hard work and I must have paid for it all. According to Chloe, gracious comments on her appearance have never gotten easier to hear. You never quite get used to being judged and pulled apart and told how unattractive one is. But I will say, if you hear anything enough, you start to believe it, she wrote. This is an example of how I've been conditioned to feel, and that I'm not beautiful enough just being me. I love a good filter and good lighting and an edit here and there. The same way I throw on some makeup and get my nails done or wear a pair of heels to present myself to the world the way I want to be seen. And that is exactly what I will continue to do unapologetically. Man, I can't talk. Okay, so I want to stop here because this is already becoming frustrating to me. So I can completely resonate with her in the fact, like, clearly there's some insecurity here. You know, she is a part of a family that is one of the most picked apart, looked at family that pretty much their careers were based off of their image, right? And I get that part, but her attributing like getting your nails done to her editing her photos, I don't see the way that those correlate, because in one aspect, you know, you're doing something to maybe like do some self-care, where another one, you're completely altering the way your body image looks to where it's not even who you are. Like, you know what I mean? It's not even, you know, some of the images that I've seen on there, like she'll change like the size of her waist or take like cellulite out completely or like whatever the case is. I just think that I just have an issue with it. And I hate that she says in there too, like, it just says, this is the way I want the world to like see me. And it's just frustrating because I don't think that it's healthy, you know? I mean, I'm sure others feel that way too. You know, what do you think reading this statement? What's your take on it, Zoe?
So as a person that has struggled with body dysmorphia as well as eating disorders, looking at this does frustrate you, frustrates me, would frustrate anyone, because for one thing, the Kardashians, a lot of its brand is, you know, beauty and health.
Yeah.
Trying to see the best life that you think that they're living. And they sell you these things and they tell you to do certain aspects of life a certain way because it gets you to buy the things that they are influencing you to get. But by releasing this statement, it really pulls the curtain back. It really like shows you, like, for one thing, they didn't authentically get that. It's not organically made. They didn't just have God-given genetics that gave them the perfect primp ass and like the perfectly perky boobs. Like,
I just don't get, why can't they be honest? Like, I feel like just be honest. Like, why is it that hard?
They don't want to be honest because they're still under the influence of what they feel as if is the beauty standard. And since they have money, they're able to get that. So, I mean, why be honest when you don't have to be, I guess? But also, I feel like it's a lot of complexity with things. A lot of marketing plays into that. So if they make money off of it, if they profit of it, why wouldn't they use it?
Yeah. So I think the craziest thing for me when I read this statement was just thinking about the fact, and I looked at it, since that post has even gone up, like that statement, she's gained even more followers, and now she has 165 million followers on Instagram. And in that statement, she pretty much just shared, "I will continue to Photoshop and alter my images, and I have the right to do so." And kind of in a way, she was kind of encouraging others to just, feel reassured and continuing to do it too.
She's not wrong. Like, she has the freedom, the opportunity to do whatever she wants whenever she wants to do it, because she has free will as a human being. Your God, right? But for you to have such a large platform, and for you to build your platform off of something, for one thing, Revenge Body, which I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to be on that show really badly, because like, who doesn't want to have like a really hot body, and then for all your haters show up to see how hot you are? Naturally, that's just me as a person, because one thing, I have Leo moon, and apparently, I want everyone to address my hotness.
You're so hot, Zoe. I just need you to know.
That's not a bad thing, but for you to build your brand off of that and then be like, "Oh, but I'm not naturally hot," or maybe I am, but I want to amplify my hotness by, putting filters on, and you can't tell me otherwise. But then I'm gonna pass it off as like it's natural. That's the only thing that makes me mad, because if you were gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I put filters on my thing, I'm gonna do whatever I want," but then for you to turn around and be like, "Oh God, my God-given talents, it's so amazing," that's gonna make me mad, because I'm never gonna be able to obtain that. And you're telling me
real.
That if I eat kale salads and drink celery juice and grow up in Calabasas, that I can.
That's all you need. That's the secret, guys. You heard it here first. Well, I think that, like I said, I resonate with the fact that she claimed that it's hard to live up to the beauty expectations that have been put into place. And while I do respect her family as far as like business ventures go, I think it's really incredible that they're this, this force of women that all have been very successful in business, whatever. I'd argue heavily, that the beauty image that is held right now, her family really created it in this era. And, it's just nuts. Women's body image has been a topic of conversation for years. It's never been one size fits all, no pun intended.
We could sit here and solve world hunger, but then they would be like, "Oh, did you see she gained 10 pounds? How sad."
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty common for a woman to be kind of like ridiculed under like a microscope, as far as like you gain 10 pounds, or like everything is just so ridiculous. Even, back in the 50s, what there was like, it was more like pinup girls. We had like Marilyn Monroe was like this perfect, view of what a woman should be. In the 60s, it actually became a little bit more thinner. It was what the model Twiggy was like really what everybody like looked at as like what a woman should look like. And then now we got the Kardashians. So I don't know. I think, the age of Facetune has, really come to light over the last few years. Social media has become super carefully cultivated. I remember there was a time when I first had Instagram and people just took photos of their food and that was it. But now it's like people are faking their entire lives. It's crazy. Zoe, I wanted to show you this. You don't actually need to experience things. You can just Photoshop yourself into them and it will be like you really did whatever experience you want. So go ahead.
My face on Zac Efron's girlfriend.
Yeah, you're dating Zac Efron now. Did you know that? In LA, they have a photo studio of like a private jet, and it's really common for influencers to go there and rent time there, and they will literally pretend like they were in a private jet. Like, I don't understand what the appeal is to just pretend like, I don't know why it's so important to pretend you have this fake life. I don't know. It's crazy. I guess it comes down to maybe the root of just everyone wants to feel important or like wants to feel special.
Also, capitalism is
yeah,
and the individualistic attitudes that we're sold as Americans. Like, you have to be rich, but you have to be rich all by yourself, and you have to like be a monopoly over everyone else to show like how ballin' you are. That's why we have it in the rap songs. That's why, like, on Instagram, it's like, oh, I made 6 figures in 3 months, and I only had to post a picture of my index and my big
You never
toe.
learn about the struggle. You never learn about what actually happens. Like,
They're like, I get it too, but I'm only like, gatekeeping is such a big thing because they don't want to give all the way the secrets because they want to keep that status. But you don't see people are like, I created a nuclear family and I got a Sam's Club card. This is how I did it, because people don't they don't think that that's glamorous. But there are people out there that just want to have families and drive reliable, reasonable cars and, drink a cup of Joe in the morning and have half of a cigarette. And that's like their life. That's their ideal life. They've made it. We're not like that. But
yeah, I feel like so much you see the finish line product and then you don't ever hear about what it took to do the run. So I don't know. I want to show this really quick. This article here. Will you? Yeah, screen share there. So this came out in 2018, but this was crazy. This was actually on the news. This girl, this influencer, she photoshopped herself into all these different areas, and some of these were like actually brand deals. And so she kept them up even after she got called out. She kept them up. So she was not at this location. We can keep scrolling down, see some different ones.
the Kardashian though.
Look at these. It's ridiculous.
That's another thing. Why do people look alike? Like, why do like every like beautiful popular celebrity influencer look the same?
I don't know. Everyone wants to like lose their authenticity when that's really what makes you so special. And so it's a shame.
I feel like that's what that gets you there. But like once you made it, then it's like, if I ever like become rich and famous to the point where like I'm recognizable on the street like Meryl Streep, and I have the audacity to say, Alec, I want to get lip fillers, slap me. Just do it.
You know what? I don't know. I have like a love-hate relationship because like I've gone back and forth with maybe being like okay with wanting to get lip fillers, like because I kind of am like, okay, obviously it's your body, like do what you want with it. But I think when it becomes a problem to me is like when people start lying about it, when they're like, oh, my lips randomly just got so plump, it was just age. And I'm like, no, it was not. Like, oh, they just grew. And I'm like, no, they didn't. Like, just say you got lip filler. What?
And they like are to the natural point. But I do feel as if people who get lip fillers, for some reason, they don't know when to stop when it looks natural.
I have seen some crazy ones.
They always go above and beyond, and they don't know the cap. So like, I'm cool. Like, it's your body, do whatever you want. But I'm just not okay with the to the point where you look like that monster from Monsters Inc. that got a scream sucked out of him. When you get to that point, like, babe, you got to look back at your life and be like, what did I do wrong?
Get it together. Man, so this story, when it came out, it made me so mad. I was going to make a video bringing awareness to it in 2018, like on my YouTube channel. And I got my friend Abigail involved. And Abigail's an amazing graphic designer. And she's like so great at like, designing things, all sorts of stuff. And I was like, Abigail, I need you to Photoshop me into a bunch of different places, and I'm going to post it for like a week to my Instagram feed. And then after the week is up, I'm going to create a whole YouTube video talking about like this lady who did this. And so Abigail, she did it. So if you want to pull open this, let's see the back one, Abigail, do you see that one? So Abigail created a thing. I obviously didn't go through with it. And I will share why after we watch Abigail's video.
Man, I really want to, I do want to see these pictures, and I do still want to see the video. I'm not going to lie.
So we'll see Miss Abigail here. Surprise, Abigail, you're in today's podcast. This is a video from like 3 years ago.
If you can ask her to Photoshop you next to Nat and Alex Wolf, and then you send that picture to them and been like, oh, I really missed this time. We should get together again.
That's what I should do.
You
Did-
should see what they say.
You know, I actually heard like Gabby Hanna used to Photoshop herself into like pictures with Bo Burnham and would say she was dating him. That's hilarious.
Started on Gabby Hanna.
We're gonna have to do a whole other episode maybe dedicated toward Gabby Hanna. All right, this is the video of me living my best life here.
So right now I am working on the photo of Alec in Rome, Italy. She is living her best life, drinking at a little cafe, but not actually because she's just photoshopped in on top of somebody else. But yeah, Alec wanted to try and trick her followers. Hopefully this works. Definitely let us know if it worked or not.
All right, so shout out to Abigail. I'm gonna put in the caption on the YouTube channel all of her information if you ever want to hire a graphic designer. But let me tell you, I couldn't go through with it. I couldn't go through with doing the prank, and the reason was because it made me feel bad. I was like, I just cannot be deceiving. Like, I don't want to be. Like, I didn't want to post it and then have to sit through a whole week of like me knowing that people were watching me lie to them or even believing me and thinking that I was in like Paris or these different like extravagant places. And so I was like, I can't do it. So I didn't do it. And then I sat on this, and obviously eventually it came to me bringing it to light here in this moment, but I couldn't do it because
I just want to say that it is true what they say. Pretty people do have pretty friends, because you and Abigail, that's a pretty match. The second thing is that, yes, she is very, 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 very talented. And can she Photoshop me next to Joe Biden? So.
Oh, she definitely, I'm sure she can. Abigail, we're going to need one of those. So it's just crazy. So I have another clip here. Will you, Christian, click on the one that says Chris Brown's mom? So this is going to be a little clip that talks about people before and after fame. This is like celebrity, like it's Chris Brown's mom and Kris Jenner's sister before fame. You're going to have to mute it because of the copyrighted music. But Chris Brown's mom in this, I saw this on TikTok and I about pooped myself. Watch this. This is insane. All right, watch this. This is crazy. What?
Yeah, I remember seeing her, like, her videos and stuff, and like them being
Wait,
like
pause there.
Chris Brown's mom. Yeah, she does get her photos edited, because I remember they showed a side by side of the original picture and then like the edited picture, and I think for some reason I think her name's Tina or something. That may not be right. But yeah, I was shocked. I was like, that doesn't look like someone that has a grown son. That looks like somebody Chris Brown's dating, but not his mom.
She didn't even look bad before. It's just like, that's crazy to me. So this one's nuts too. This is Kris Jenner's younger sister. So I think, Christian, you might have to restart it here. I know it's TikTok, so I don't know if you'll be able to go backwards. This is the after product. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, look at that. Wow. So let's just watch these one more time here. So Joyce Hawkins. Wow.
Yeah.
For the audio listeners, I'm just telling you, like, the before and afters, crazy.
I didn't even know that Kris Jenner had a sister. That's crazy.
I didn't either until this. Yeah. So that's nuts. Wow.
But
so
literally, people are beautiful, and if they take the time to like appreciate themselves, like, and like literally how it sounds cliche, but how they were made, like, I feel like you like yourself more, because I feel like when you edit yourself to the self that you think that people want to see, you kind of just always see imperfections in yourself. I think that's why Lizzo thrives off of like everything, because like she's like, this is me. She started off the game like saying like, this is me, you can't change me.
Yeah. You know what? I feel like we're starting to kind of go more toward a more authentic realm. Like I'm starting to see more and more of a trend of people like actually coming out and like showing like, this is what real bodies look like. This is okay if your body looks like this. And just like more like, just like better representation as far as like what female bodies really look like, and that all shapes and sizes, everything, like it's okay. It's okay to love your body. Like it's okay to love what, you know, you were born with. And I really hope that that message continues to be spread. Like, you are beautiful. And I think that that's just so important to continue to like just shout. There was this one I wanted to share here. So the very bottom, more Instagram versus reality. Yeah. So I've seen like a lot of influencers will kind of like do like this is what it looks like when you pose this way, but this is what like my body like looks like also. And I love these. I think it's just like a nice reminder to just see like, okay, like you're right. Because it's so easy to just scroll on Instagram. It's so toxic. You really get in this mindset of thinking like, why don't I look like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I will say as like a big bodied person, it is kind of frustrating though when you do see like models who are very thin, like contorting their bodies to fit into that trend. It would be different if like, you know, you're living your life and posing and being like, this is what I look like posed. And then like you do unposed and like you do have a little bit of tummy and stuff like that. But when you slouch over drastically and you bend over backwards to be like, I can fit into the trend too. It's frustrating, angering, and angering because it's like, see, now you're not getting the message, and now people are expecting me to look like that when I'm not like unslouched. Yeah.
You know, I actually saw something while, you know, I feel in ways it can be reassuring, at least for me, to see like, okay, we're seeing like cellulite, great, yes, like awesome, like I'm glad people can see that that's normal. I did see something online where like there was like, you know, for, you know, more plus size women, they were saying like, oh, that's fantastic. You can contort your body in all these different ways. Some women can't. And so this actually makes me feel like shit. And so I think that it's just, again, this is such an important topic to just talk about and figure out and continue to work toward, you know, more body positivity, more loving on yourself, all of that, you know. It's just,
I think it's so important to remember that like self-healing and like self-loving is hard, especially if you haven't done it before or aren't very consistent with it. It's a difficult time. I haven't done it for so long, and now I'm trying to like teach myself self-love, for one thing, because I have a daughter and I want her to know how to maintain self-love and not put it in the hands of other people. But when you don't know what self-love is, you have to remind yourself that like healing from the past traumas, especially traumas inflicted on yourself, your body keeps that score. You know, my mom suggested a book called The Body Keeps the Score, and like it's a great read if anyone wants to put it out there and read it. If you're on your self-love journey, that book can be very insightful, because be nice to your body. It can hold and repress a lot of things, and like releasing that helps a lot with your health.
Wow. Zoe, I appreciate so much you coming on and being raw and, you know, real and just speaking about this topic with me. I'm going to probably continue to talk about this topic throughout our journey here on Smart Alec, because I want all women to feel represented and feel loved and start working toward that. Yeah, I think that's really important. And I feel myself getting emotional. So the next piece that I really want to do is I want to bring my grandma on. I saw a movie. I was actually going through this kick where I think, Zoe, you recommended me a bunch of movies, and I started watching like it was My Fair Lady. I was watching all of the Audrey Hepburn films, and the My Fair Lady movie also made me really mad. So we're just talking about all sorts of things that made me angry, but it made me mad because in the film there was all of these, you know, expectations that were placed on women, and I know that film was from a while ago, and so I kind of want to talk about that stuff with my grandma and hear kind of, you know, how things have changed, how she's seen them change as far as it goes for women.
I hope that you have a great time with your grandmother. Tell her that I said hi, and from one radio host to another, that I'm in awe of her.
So my great grandmother was the radio host.
Your great grandmother. Tell her that like her mom was dope.
Okay.
And still, I'm in awe of her because she is the lineage of you. So I love her because the result of her gave me you. So tell her hi. And also, she's from Idaho, right?
My grandma, I believe she was actually born in LA, but then they went back to Idaho. We're going to get the whole recap here soon.
Okay, I was going to ask her if you can ask her what her favorite thing about Idaho is, because I'm just curious if I can meet one person that was from Idaho and says, my favorite thing is the potato, I think my life would be.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I love all the taters. All right. Thank you so much, Zoe, and we'll catch you later when we do the question segment.
All right, I'll see you later. I'm excited for that. I got some juicy questions.
Woo. All right. Second, we are going to bring on my wonderful grandmother. I'm so excited to have her on today. I know I already kind of talked about her a second before, but my grandma is an amazing woman, and she comes from a line of amazing women. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And I'm really excited to just kind of like pick her brain a bit about what it was like, when she was growing up. My grandma actually had 9 kids. So that's pretty crazy. We have a huge family because of this one woman. And so that's a really big, thing. I want to thank you, Grandma, for, all the amazing lives that you have created. I wouldn't be here, obviously, without you. And, I love you so much. I'm excited for you to be on here today and be a part of this. So let's welcome Grandma in. Wow, Grandma, you got an audience here today.
I can see that.
Welcome. I am so excited to have you. How is your day going so far?
Great, just great.
Good. So one thing I want to note here, because my grandma was born in 1929. Holy moly. We got to ask my grandma, what is the key to a, long life?
Oh, I believe it's clean living. Never smoked, drank very little.
Grandma, what do you always tell us is your the meal that you must have every day? That's also a key to a long life.
Oh, today I have bananas and orange juice every day and peanut butter.
Oh, peanut butter?
Yeah.
So it's peanut butter, banana, and orange juice every single day?
Every single day.
All right, guys. Let me tell you, you got to eat that peanut butter, bananas, and orange juice for a long life. Well, I'm very excited to have you here. First and foremost, today's podcast, we talked about body image. We talked about social media and really just about its effects on women. And a topic of conversation that really fascinates me is how the expectation of women has changed throughout the different eras. And so the first thing I kind of want to talk to you about is just what was it like growing up a woman, during, the time period you're maybe like an early teen, young adult. What was that like?
Well, always a pretty woman has always been a pretty woman. But I think that in my day, they were less focused on makeup and thin bodies. We were rounder, we were fresher looking, I think, than young people today.
Really?
Yeah.
I
think we had more weight on too, and we just considered that more natural looking, I guess. Natural looking.
Yeah. So do you think were there any, how nowadays there's maybe certain icons that maybe women look at as the expectation of how a woman should look? Back in that era, was there any icons or celebrities, I guess, that, those from your generation felt like they should look like?
Well, I was never very impressed by Hollywood and great beauties. I have to tell you that I went to a boarding school where girls were just girls. We didn't wear any makeup at the school. And I don't think I'm your normal woman to show what the people were in my era, because I was a little more privileged.
Okay. So let's talk about that a little bit then. What do you think, how do you feel first off that you were privileged, and how do you feel that maybe contributed to you having more of because like you just said, you weren't really into like the Hollywood stuff. You kind of did your own thing. You had it sounds like, growing up, you maybe had like stronger opinions, you wanted to do your own thing instead of maybe following others. How,
Well, yeah.
what do you think?
I don't
contributed
think
to that?
I didn't follow any one particular. I went off, I was pretty normal until I went to boarding school. But the fact that I'm an only child, I think that makes me a little different. When you have brothers and sisters, your parents' attention is spread out over more than one. But mine doted on me, and I was fortunate to be able to go to a Catholic girls' boarding school. I'm the only girl in my time period out of Boise, Idaho, that went to boarding school. It was during the war years, and I think the war changed women the most. Before the war, we were expected to be homemakers and not necessarily work out. During the war, the men went off to fight, and the women took part they had to go into the war effort, and they worked and brought home a paycheck. And when the boys came home, they thought that was pretty good. They kind of liked that independence and the fact that they were bringing home a paycheck. And so I think that was the difference.
Are you talking about World War II or the Vietnam War?
No, World War II.
Okay.
You have to remember how old I am.
That's why you're such an amazing person to talk to about this, because you have all these incredible experiences and the way that life's advanced. Like so many different things have changed, throughout your lifetime.
Too, by the time I came home from high school, I was at Boise Junior College for a little while. I met my husband, got married at 19.
Oh, just like me.
19, and had my first child at 20, and then had a child every year for the next 9 years. So I really didn't, I didn't really get much opportunity to have anybody to hold up as an example, I think.
Yeah. So one of the things that I heard you say was that kind of like during the war, women started like working. Is that that's what you were saying during that time frame? That's when that transition started happening?
Yes. The women went to work, in the factories, etc., because the men had gone off to war. So they were now bringing home paychecks, and they liked that independence. And when the war was over and the husbands expected them to come home and just be homemakers again, they kind of rebelled a little bit.
See, it's interesting. I've been kind of interested in this topic for a while, and a couple months ago, we watched this beautiful movie about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I'm not quite sure exactly. I can't remember right now exactly how old she was, but I do remember in the movie when it was kind of talking about her life, it talked about she was really fighting to want to work, and all these different places that she went and applied for, they were trying to tell her that because she was a woman that, she shouldn't be working. She needed to get back to, being a homemaker or whatever. And so it's kind of amazing to see how far women have come, over the years, coming up in a man's world. So
Absolutely.
what do you think, thinking back, obviously you talked about you watched women go from homemakers to being able to, be working. What other types of monumental, progress can you think of, for women happened during your lifetime so far? I guess maybe young adulthood. What were the big things?
Well, of course, the first few years I was raising a family and didn't have much opportunity. But I always knew that I would be involved in the community in some way to volunteer. And I was very lucky to have a woman that came in and helped me and took care of the children. Her name was Esther Moss. And we had her for like 17 years. And this allowed me then to go into the community and volunteer at St. Alphonsus Hospital first. And then after I became president of that, I moved over to the Idaho Historical Auxiliary and worked my way through the chairs there. And so I was able to do a lot of things because of this wonderful woman who was at home looking out for my kids. And then after I finished that piece of volunteering, I decided to go back to college because I had only gone 2 years and I wanted to finish. So I went back to Boise State and did graduate with a degree in social work.
In social work?
Yes.
Wow. So, I mean, if you guys can't pick up on it already, a pretty amazing grandma. The fact that she had 9 kids, wanted, to have a career, wanted to get an education, didn't let any of that stop her. I think that says a lot about, you and, obviously, it's rubbed off on a lot of the people within our family. I feel we have a lot of strong women who, have hard heads. And
I come from a long line of strong, independent women.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. So, we got to I want to get into what maybe made you that way. And so we have a really amazing presentation that we found on the internet, which was pretty wild to see. So here in a minute, we're going to pull it up if you want to bring it up, Christian. This presentation was actually made by a student at Boise State. And this was crazy to see because this was a presentation about your mom, my great-grandmother. And of course, I've grown up.
Very unusual woman.
Yeah, I've grown up hearing all these amazing stories. And so to give some background, I guess I'll ask you too. This kind of talks about my great-grandmother, my grandma's mom. She was actually like a radio host in Boise, and she was the voice of the Basque community. And if you don't know what Basque is, Grandma, how would you describe to the audience what Basque is?
The Basque people are a special race of people. They don't know exactly where they came from, but they settled in the upper parts of Spain and France. And they have been there for 1,000 years or so, I guess. But they are an unusual people. My mother was educated. She could read Basque and write Basque, and it's a very difficult language to learn.
Yeah.
It's not like any Romance language that you have ever heard of before. So unless you learn it from the cradle, you're not apt to learn it in a class.
Yeah.
Very unusual, ancient language.
It's nothing
Anyway.
like Spanish either, which is funny because, all the Basque people I know would get real pissed off if you try to compare it to Spanish.
Yeah. Well, because it's an ancient language, sometimes they will take a Spanish word and put a Basque ending on it. It's a very ancient language, and no one knows where it came from. Oh, there's a picture of my mother coming up.
You see it? Can you go ahead and put that back up, Christian?
She did a lot more in the community than just have the radio program. The radio program lasted for 25 years, but she also went out to the Basque sheep herding community and did a lot of help for them, made doctor's appointments, got their passports in order, frequently went out, and she didn't get paid for any of this. She didn't get paid for any of the records that she put on her program either. But she also was involved in the city of Boise. She got the Golden Deeds Award for her community service. She was on the Music Week board. She was part of the Columbian Club early on. She was a volunteer at St. Alphonsus Hospital. She translated for the government.
Just
She,
phenomenal.
she really was an amazing woman, truly an amazing woman. And it was only natural that I would try to follow in her footsteps.
Yeah. So that's why to me it makes so much sense as to where you got that strength to raise this amazing family, go out and do your career, do your education, and have that confidence to, stay poised enough to balance all those different things. So I thought this was so special too, because, in a way, Christian, will you scroll up to the picture of her, the radio hosting. I thought this was cool because I'm thinking like, hey, I'm kind of here hosting a radio show. Right? And, my great grandmother was this strong, amazing, force. And I'm kind of, channeling her in a way here too. So, this PowerPoint goes over all of that, information that you were kind of talking about, how much she really gave inspiration to those that were sheep herding. There was actually this quote here. It says, "Sheep herding was boring and miserable, with only S.B. Allegria's Sunday radio program to entertain us in the desolate wilderness. We went to the top of a mountain each time to listen to her." So that just goes to show you like how influential she was. And there was a quote here. It says, Christian, will you scroll down to the one of, I believe it was.
She also taught Spanish to the Air Force officers during the war out at Gowan Field.
That's crazy. This
she had Jimmy Stewart was one of her students.
Who's Jimmy Stewart?
Well, that dates you, my dear. He's a very famous actor in the 50s, 60s, 70s, someplace in there.
Oh, man, I guess I need to go back in and do some homework. But I love this quote. So it says here, she said, "I'm always busy. I never know what I'm going to be doing. From one day to the next, I'll get a call from the federal court to be an interpreter for a new arrival, or to help an alien resident with his or her citizenship papers, or I'll be asked to translate a will from Basque or Spanish or English." And there's this beautiful picture of your dad and your mom. It says, "SB and Henry visited with sheep herders in their camps to assist with their immigration paperwork or bring them supplies." And not only to mention how amazing she was, but your dad was pretty phenomenal too. So correct me here if I'm wrong, but he was a phenomenal athlete. He was doing daredevil work, was like jumping over all sorts of things. I read too, he like managed boxers as well. And then on top of it was helping her volunteer and do all these other things, and found great passion in helping others as well. Does that all sound pretty accurate?
Yes, he was much shyer than she was, so he didn't really like to be, in the forefront. But as Christian is helping you do the mechanics of the taping, my father did tape my mother's program, and they were.
Oh, wow.
And they, yes, he did that for her, and they had to do the program ahead of time. It had to be taped, and it had to go to the radio station beforehand so that they could listen to it and make sure there was nothing subversive in it. So he taped them, and there were many of those roles left. There aren't any more now, but anyway, yes, he did that for her. He was a great athlete. He had wonderful hand-eye. Yes, he was the handball champion of Idaho until he was 50 years old. And he was a business owner. And he owned his own business, of course. But he had wonderful hand-eye coordination. That's the thing that was so special about him.
Wow. So that's amazing. That's a fact that I never knew. I never knew that he was behind it, also cheering her on and supporting her and helping her go after that dream of pouring into others.
I think she just saw it as a duty to do it. Someone needed to do it, and she was the one who was educated and able to do it. And she loved her country. And she loved the Basque country, but she loved being an American as well.
Yeah. So can you tell me a little bit about where you were born and them coming over to America, how that all kind of went about?
Sure. My father came over as a young man. I think he was 11 years old when he came to the United States. He was immediately, within 2 years, orphaned. And so he was pretty much on the street. So he did not get much of an education. Now, my mother came over in 1925 when she was 18 years old after she finished high school. Her mother had immigrated earlier and was teaching Spanish at St. Teresa's Academy here in Boise. Her mother was a school teacher in Spain as well and came from a prominent Basque family.
Wow. Okay, so that's something I kind of want to touch on then too, because so what year was it? Do you remember what year your mom was born?
Sure, she was married in born in 1906. My father was born in 1900.
Wow.
And my mother was born in 1906.
And then your grandma, when was your grandma born?
Oh, 1880. Geez. Off the top of my head, I can't come up with that
Tell
one.
me all the facts. So, and
Well,
she was a
married.
Spanish teacher?
Yes. She was married in 1900. My grandmother Pilar was married in 1900. So I have to assume she was probably 20 years old.
So do
She
you
was a
think
socialist, no less.
was the culture over there a little bit different for women? Like, was it more supported for women to be working? Or what do you think led to her working in, I mean, that was a long time ago, right? So I'm curious what.
Yes. Well, she was a very independent woman. Her family was very prominent in their town and in their community, and they had always been the people of consequence, you know, the mayor of the town and that sort of thing. And they had a paper factory. Anyway, she was educated to be a teacher, and she was a socialist in 1900, which was not acceptable, truly, in her little town. So anyway, she ran off and married her husband, who was Pedro Izarra, Izarra, which means star in Basque.
Star?
Star. Izarra. Izarra. And anyway, that's where she went off to live in his hometown, which was Ermois. She left Legazpia, her hometown, and went to Ermois, and taught school there while he was educated as well. He was a notary, could read and write as well, and that's pretty unusual for the times. Not many could read and write. And anyway, she decided to come to the United States in about 1911, and she put her daughter in boarding school, and her two sons were in boarding school as well, and she came to Boise, Idaho, and began teaching at St. Teresa's Academy.
Wow. So that's phenomenal. That's crazy. So that's nuts that really, there's a long line of just these very strong-minded women that.
Well, it was very daring at the time, very daring. You know, you just didn't do that. I even noticed in the 60s, when I was involved at St. Alphonsus Hospital, I was in the newspapers a lot, either fashion shows or whatever, and I was never known by Rosita Artis. I was always Mrs. Sam Artis, and all the other women who had their pictures in the newspapers at that time were never known by their own name. It was always their husbands. That's how they were always addressed. Yes.
All right, so everyone, my camera died, but I am having a fantastic time talking to my grandma. So we are going to be using my phone for the rest of this. So this is how it's going to be working. So I think it's fine. So anyway, where do we leave off here? So you were telling me that in the newspapers, you were often in the newspaper. And then you said that women were often referred to as so-and-so's wife. It was never like their first name.
Right.
And then
Right.
was that your experience as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Interesting.
If you were married, you took the name of your husband. You did not get to be an individual yourself.
Interesting. So, as far as, I mean, I know we talked about, obviously it makes sense what kind of contributed to you being such a, strong woman as well. Do you feel like maybe when you were growing up, do you ever feel like there was anything you couldn't pursue because you were a woman, or was things kind of to you not off limits?
I didn't think about that a lot. I did love the Egyptian theater,
Yeah.
and I wanted to be an archaeologist. Going in that wonderful theater with all the hieroglyphics on the wall and all that wonderful stuff, I dreamt of being an archaeologist. But I really had I didn't mean to study that or anything. I didn't get that opportunity.
Right. By the way, my grandma's an amazing artist too. She's so good at painting. Grandma, I need you to paint me something. I need to put it on my wall.
Uh-huh. Well, that's one of my least talents, unfortunately.
What? I've seen some paintings and they've been pretty amazing. But one thing I want to talk about then, maybe this is something that like my mom could also give insight to. So there was, I was watching Audrey Hepburn. I went through and watched some of her films, and there was a movie called My Fair Lady. Have either of you guys seen that?
Oh, I guess. We loved it. Yeah.
You did? Okay. So that movie was really eye-opening to me because, it was interesting because the whole movie was kind of about like, just the language was kind of interesting, but also the whole movie was about this man who was like, oh, give me 6 months to craft you into this fantastic, perfect woman who's poised and speaks a certain way, whatever, XYZ, right? And there were some scenes in the movie where, Audrey Hepburn would maybe like be doing great being poised, and then maybe she would get angry and she would express her emotion. And
me.
and then the man in the movie, I can't remember what his name was, but he would be like, there we go, okay. He would be like, how dare you act this way? This is not how a woman is supposed to act. You are never to express your emotions or your disdain for a man. And, obviously, as the movie went on, she ended up just realizing, I'm just going to be myself, and if I feel I need to express myself and my feelings, I'm going to, and you'll love me for who I am or you won't. See ya. And so to me, I felt like maybe Audrey Hepburn during that era, that movie came out in 1964, maybe she was kind of like, leading the way for some women to feel empowered to speak their minds or be themselves. So I kind of wanted to just ask you guys what kind of impact you felt Audrey Hepburn had. My mom, you can speak up too. I would love to know your thoughts on this piece too.
I was not, I certainly loved the movie, but you have to remember it's a movie and a story called Pygmalion is the original story. And I enjoyed it. I loved all the songs. But as far as having any feeling about her, it was a story. That's all it was. It didn't impress me that much personally.
Do you feel that it was like accurate that maybe sometimes women couldn't express, like if they were unhappy or angry or whatever, they were to keep quiet and keep it to themselves?
I suppose that might have happened, but it didn't happen to me.
Good.
I don't ever remember being in a situation where my mother could not speak up. I don't think so. I don't think that was anything that happened to us. No.
It's just interesting. It's, I think, I am just so honored that I came from a long line of amazing, incredible women. Even my mom, I grew up with a single mother. And so my mom was, she did a lot of public speaking, and, part of her job was to kind of also empower others. And I got to watch that. I just kind of wanted to pick your brain and, hear about what it was like, growing up, and hear what contributed to you becoming such a strong woman, what contributed to, SB becoming a strong woman, all of that.
Well, I was a late bloomer. Don't think that I started out this way. I was a late bloomer, and I did not have a lot of self-confidence until I was probably 25 or 30 years old. I'll tell you when it really happened. When it really happened, because I had a hard time speaking in front of large crowds of people.
Really?
I would choke. And there was a fellow, which you will recognize, William Peterson,
okay,
who
yes.
is with CSI, yes. And he was someone who hung out at our home at a time. And we were having a fundraiser for the Basque community. And I asked him if he wouldn't preview one of his movies at the Egyptian as a fundraiser. And he agreed to do that. The name of the movie was Hard Promises.
Okay.
So I was to introduce him. The theater was full, and I had a cheat sheet in my hand, and I was prepared to use it because I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to ad-lib anything.
Right.
And all of a sudden, there was the lights were on me, the headlights were on me, and I couldn't see the paper anyway. And so all of a sudden, I was forced to just do it on my own.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I grew up. And I was able ever after to speak in front of a crowd of people and just have a few key points that I wanted to dwell on and not choke. Okay.
Wow. So to me, that's really beautiful. I love that because I'm hearing that it was something that you had such a fear of doing that you even had a crutch ready to go in case you failed, right? And
never got to look at it.
Yep. And in the moment where there was the complete unknown and you had to just do it, just go into it, you showed yourself that you could. And, that makes sense why, that extra confidence was unlocked, so.
It was a big milestone for me. I have to say that I was intimidated a lot by my father, who was a perfectionist in all ways. And if I thought he was watching me do something along the way, I just couldn't perform, just could not. And he had died and was long gone, and so I suddenly was freed of that critical element in my life. And the William Peterson Hard Promises show was the thing that freed me forever.
Wow. I love that. So anytime there's something you think you can't do, you can, in fact, do it. You just need to take that first step and rip the Band-Aid off. Go into it in the unknown, and the rest will all just kind of, fall into place. You'll learn. The moving parts will start to work together. So I love that. Is there any other advice to all the women out there listening that maybe you'd like to give them through all of your expertise?
Right. Well, I'll tell you, of course, I'm a great believer in education. Where I went to high school, one of the mantras of the school was, if you educate the mother, you educate the family. And I do believe that. If a woman can get to college, even or be educated in some other way, that it does elevate the family in general. The children will aspire more. And I believe that what I learned from the Dominican convent in San Rafael was a wonderful experience for me, and it did show me what I could be.
You know, I think nowadays too with social media, Google, YouTube, you can learn just about anything if you're willing to dedicate your time. So
Very true. Yeah.
all right. Well, thank you so much for coming on with us, Grandma. And I love
Okay.
you so much.
I hope this all works for you.
Thank you. All right. So that is it.
All right.
All right. I
you too.
love you so much. Bye, guys.
Okay,
All
bye.
right. Well, we had a fantastic time having my grandma on. I learned a lot of new things that I didn't know about before. And it was so fun getting to kind of pick her brain. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was great. Just hearing what she had to say and learning some new things from her.
She's very spunky, isn't
Yeah,
she?
she is very spunky.
Yes. I was really excited about today's episode because I've been wanting to talk about this topic for a long time, and I feel like we're going to come back to it, and I'm probably going to add even more things after this gets posted later on. But we're going into our next segment, and our next segment is going to be a little bit of a couples challenge. Yeah, woohoo! Really excited to kick Christian's butt.
No, you're not going to.
Yep, I am.
No,
It's over for you.
no.
Yep. So our one of our other producers, Zoe, she couldn't make it on, but she did come up with these amazing questions for us. So we have not seen these questions until just now. And so we are pretty much just going to read them off. So just imagine as if we're reading them in Zoe's voice. And we're going to have a competition. And we're going to write the answers on this whiteboard for our audio listeners. We'll try our best to describe what we're doing here. And we're going to go ahead and get ready.
Who's keeping points?
Eat my dust, Christian.
I'm keeping
I'm
points.
keeping points.
No, I am.
No.
I don't
I
trust
got
you.
the points box already. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. Are you
don't
ready?
even have names in the points box.
I do it differently than you.
Yeah, all the points go to you.
Yes. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, so the first question here, Zoe prepped for us. So this one is going to be for Christian. So we're going to go back and forth. So this one says, if Alec could have a guest on the show from the H3 podcast, if you guys didn't know this already, that's my favorite podcast, my favorite YouTuber. It's Ethan Klein. But that might not be who I would have on.
Okay.
Okay, if Alec could have
I'm
a
just gonna-
guest on the show from H3 Podcast, who would it be? Explanation earns extra 5 points. All right, and just because of that, Ethan Klein's off limits. I'm not putting Ethan Klein down.
What?
So yes, so it'd be whoever my next favorite would be who I'd bring on. And I don't even think that you're going to maybe even guess this one. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
AB. All right, explanation. I don't know what she meant by that. Why did you think I would do Ian?
Because he's funny and he's witty.
So is AB.
Not like Ian is though.
Okay, yeah, I guess you're right. I think that I would relate more to AB though, because he was like such a fan and then he got hired onto the show, you know? So I think that's why I would want to like have him come on.
Yeah,
and
but
plus like he like is kind of, they're like the most like us because he's married. They're like a little couple who's into like video stuff.
but Ian's a smart Alec.
I guess. I mean, anybody. Yeah. If you guys are listening, come on to the podcast. This is your invite right now.
Next question is for Alec to answer. What is my biggest fear? Name, animal, or insect.
Wait, biggest fear or?
Yeah, what's my biggest fear?
Okay. Biggest fear. Okay, we actually talked about this recently, so I think I'm gonna get this point. Okay.
And you have to answer it correctly.
Okay.
You can't put
think-
multiple things down.
I'm not. So I think the last one, nobody got a point.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. All right. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Biggest fear. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh. How could I have forgotten that one?
I used to jump out of airplanes, and it's way different than standing on the edge of a cliff. I'll say that much.
Yeah, it actually does not make any sense. The funniest thing, so Christian, actually, I love Ferris wheels. And back when we were like 17, we went on a road trip together to Seattle, and I had to force him into the Ferris wheel in Seattle. He was terrified, and I couldn't believe that he was like scared of it. And what you like told me was because somebody else like put it together, like it was out of your control kind of thing.
Yeah. So I'm like terrified of heights if I'm not in control.
Yeah, I don't even know.
I actually don't even like being in a car if I'm not driving. Although I'll do it.
The other thing too is, so like fast forward to a couple years later when he was proposing to me, we were in Myrtle Beach, and it was like pouring rain. He was actually going to take me in a helicopter, but because it was pouring rain, all the helicopter rides got canceled. And there was like a Ferris wheel, and he remembered that I loved Ferris wheels, and I knew something was up. I mean, I already kind of knew he was going to propose to me, but I kind of knew it was going to be in there because for the first time ever, Christian goes, "Hey, you want to go up in the Ferris wheel?" And I'm like, something's up. There's no way you're willingly doing that. And on top of it, that it was bad weather too. It was like so windy. It was literally like tornadoing. Don't you remember?
Yeah, it was really bad. It was like the storm was terrible.
Yeah.
But if you're nervous to propose, just do something that makes you scared or nervous, and it makes it easier.
I mean, he still seemed nervous anyways.
Yeah, it was nerve-wracking. I was afraid that the Ferris wheel would break down.
Oh, that's what you were really scared of?
No, I was actually scared she would say no.
It was funny because I actually got it on GoPro. So Christian pulled out the ring.
Yeah, I
said,
pulled
"Can
out the ring,
record
and she was like,
this?"
"Wait, can you do that again?" And I was like, "Okay."
No, I think I was just like, "Hold on, wait, let me record this." And I just pulled it out.
Yeah.
And then you're like, "Alexandra Artis, will you marry me?" And I was like, "No."
Yeah, there's footage somewhere.
Yeah, I said yes. Okay, so nobody has points. We're losing. Both of us are losing. Bailey is winning because she's sleeping in my lap. Let's be honest. Okay, so my turn.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see here. So this one is a this or that. Okay, so Christian could either A, drink 2 gallons of Beyonce sweat for $100,000. Okay, that would be this. Or would he choose to only listen to the intro of Justin Bieber's Baby for the rest of your life, always on repeat, but you could have any desire you wanted be granted? Okay, let me think about which one you would choose. Okay, so hold on. Drink 2 gallons of Beyonce sweat for $100K. Okay. Could only listen to an
10,
intro
9,
of Justin Bieber's. Hold on, let me
8,
Christian, stop.
7, 6, 5,
I don't think you. Okay.
4, 3.
All right. Okay.
You
Okay.
can put a letter down.
No, I just did that.
2, 1.
Okay, I did that. Did I win one?
Oh.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
you didn't win.
What if we don't get any of these right and then neither one of us wins? You would rather drink Beyonce sweat? You're lying.
For 100K? Yep.
But your
Easy.
other one, it's any desire you wanted could be granted. So you could just be like, could I have 100K? And you'd get that. And you could get anything else too.
I already don't like Justin Bieber's music.
But
that
you
much.
you wanted guzzle sweat.
And I would get 100K? Yeah. You do it one time, you're up 100K. Boom, done. If Alec could work with any actor or actress, who would it be? Come on, this is easy. Look, if I don't get this right, she's lying.
Well, there's like 4 of them, I think. The number 1.
No, I know the number one. I know the number one person that she would want to work with.
Oh, I'm gonna be so bad if I spell his name wrong. I'm not doing it right now. gosh, you guys, I have the worst handwriting. This is the.
I mean, yeah, mine's pretty sloppy too. Mine's like cursive and whatever normal.
I'm so bad
Brain.
at spelling too. It's just like a real problem.
Ready?
Yeah.
3,
okay.
2, 1.
You got it wrong. Joaquin Phoenix.
Bruh, it's definitely Alex Wolff.
No, dude, Joaquin Phoenix for sure. I mean, okay, I thought of Alex Wolff first.
But
then
she didn't say because she didn't want me to get the point.
No. I like Alex Wolff is definitely on that list. He was like the first person, but then I was thinking like to actually learn like, okay, Alex Wolff is still like growing. He's still brewing. Him and Nat are still brewing. They're still getting better. Like, you know what I mean? Joaquin Phoenix is like a legend. He's a legend. He is such an incredible actor. Like, I would want to pick his brain, and he doesn't even do interviews. Like, and if he does, like, he pretty much like trolls you the entire time that he's doing the interview. So I would love the opportunity to like work with him and like learn. And his life is crazy. Like he had a really nuts upbringing.
Isn't he like a method actor?
I think in some sense he is. Yes. There was actually he did like a whole movie where for like a while it was like about like the media and stuff, and he literally acted like a crazy person for the film. In the media, it was like for the film, and the media really thought that he had like lost his marbles, but it was for the film. And then even in like the Joker, he lost a ton of weight. I mean, that movie was so beautiful. He's a really, really great actor. Yeah. But I would say second would be Alex for sure. Okay, nobody has gotten a point.
That's because you're not telling the truth.
No, you're not telling the truth. You're lying, so you win.
No.
So, what's Christian's go-to In-N-Out order?
This is like the easiest. There's like 3 things you can order at In-N-Out. Hi, baby. How are you? How am I supposed to write with you in my lap like this?
Dude, we're literally going to get every single one. I don't think we're ever going to get one.
I mean, there's literally only 3 things. Your percentages are very good for this.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. Yeah, double cheeseburger.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a point.
They're called double doubles at In-N-Out. Would Alec rather donate both her pinky toes to science, but have the opportunity to go back in time and beat Jeff Bezos to space? Or B, live in a mansion with all your favorite things, but every other room has a ghost that insists on showing you their Eddie Murphy impersonation? This is a tough one. These are really,
Zoe really brought the heat with these.
yeah. Can I just write A or B?
I don't know. Let me think about it for a second.
Yeah, I'm just gonna write A or B.
Oh, yeah, you can do A or B. Okay. I got it, okay? All right, 3, 2, 1. You did it.
Nice.
You got one. I thought about it more, and I was just thinking, I don't really have a desire to go to space.
Yeah.
And I really like my pinky toes, and I think I would like to keep them. If Christian woke up the opposite sex, would he opt to have nice tits or a big juicy ass? Oh, come on now. Okay, 3, 2. Yeah.
That was easy.
Christian's definitely a booty guy.
Have you seen my wife?
Okay.
All right.
All right, everybody.
I'm getting trolled on.
Okay, go.
If Alec woke up the opposite sex, would she rather have the world's nicest physique or the biggest and best personality?
Are you ready?
No, you haven't even written anything.
Oh, I'm ready. Go, write down. I got it already. You're cheating.
I can't even see your thing. Well, you're trying to look.
I want to see what you do.
3, 2, 1. Best personality.
Best personality. Are you kidding me? Are you winning now? We're
2
tied
to
now?
2. 2 to 2.
Okay, whatever.
2-2.
I am coming for the gold right now.
Question 5.
So this one again is a this or that. Okay? So this or that. You could have eternal life, but your face was made up of a combination of Matt Damon's foot skin and Andy Samberg's facial hair trimmings. Or be eternally happy, but every time you smiled, you were licked by a Kanye West impersonator. Dude, Zoe, she is so creative. Another level.
What are you thinking?
What am I thinking?
Yeah.
What am I thinking that you're going to be doing?
Yeah.
I'm thinking you don't even know who Matt Damon or Andy Samberg is. That's what I'm thinking. Do you know who either of those people are?
Matt Damon.
I know who they are.
Matt Damon. That Matt Damon?
I don't know what
The one
that
from like the early
impersonation is.
2000s?
Okay, yes.
Matt Damon.
I don't know
Matt
what
Damon.
that impersonation is.
Yeah. People, if you know what I'm talking about, the meme from the early 2000s, Matt Damon, you can go ahead and leave a like.
Okay.
All right, which one is it? 3?
Hold on, wait. Let me just process
2?
this for a second. Hold on, Christian. You can't rush. I don't rush you when you're doing mine.
What are you talking about?
Hold on.
You're stomping on my toes anytime I have a question for you. Yeah.
Nope.
You guys can't see it, but she's literally like got her Doc Martens on, and I'm
No,
wearing
I do not.
I'm wearing
literally-
slides,
Do you
and
wanna
she's
see?
like
I'm
boom,
literally
boom, boom.
wearing socks. I'm not even wearing shoes. For our audio listeners, I just put my foot in the air.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right, I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1. What'd you put?
I put B.
Oh, nice.
Because I just feel like you don't know Andy Samberg. Right? You don't know him.
I mean,
Tell the truth.
I don't want to live forever, anyways.
Oh, why?
Because I want to grow old and yell at kids stepping on my grass. I'd be like, "Get off my lawn, you young whippersnappers!" Like that's me in 50 years.
Oh, okay.
And I want to enjoy that part of my like. In your early 20s, you get to be like reckless and do whatever you want, and then you don't get to do that again in your life until you're like in your 70s, and then you can just not care at all about what people think about you.
But
You're like,
imagine
I'm-
if your life was eternal, you could just do whatever you want whenever you want because it was eternal. So there, you know what I mean? And then like once there's an endless, infinite amount of things you could learn because it just never ends. You could get so good at every hobby that you want to get good at. You could pursue anything.
Nah, I'd rather be happy
What?
and be old.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. All right, question 5 for Alec. Ben & Jerry's gives Alec her own ice cream flavor. What are the ingredients she chooses? Wait, how many? Let's establish like how many ingredients you can list.
1.
1. So if you can only have one ingredient, what would it be?
I'm not telling you.
Or your
You
main,
write it down.
Or your main ingredient.
Oh wait. Never mind. There's going to be more than one ingredient.
What?
Sorry.
Can you guys help me? Why are you making this difficult? Bro, I literally got the hardest questions.
Well, too bad. Let's see.
How many are you writing down?
2. Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's good.
Okay, 1 second. Give me a second. Is it like a flavor that you wrote down?
Yeah. There's 2 flavors. You're not going to guess it.
Yeah, probably because you didn't write down what you would actually make your ice cream.
No, this is what I would make my ice cream.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Peanut butter and ranch? You're disgusting.
No, I think it'd be so good.
Those two together?
Oh, yeah. Or like it would be like a swirly mixture of like beautifulness.
No.
One half would be like a ranch, like a creamy.
Fun fact, Alec thinks that dipping her banana in ranch is good.
It's good. Try it.
No, don't try it.
Don't knock it till you
Save
try
your
it.
taste buds.
Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Okay, come on. We're not trying to get canceled in the second episode. Bonus question. This is worth 2
Oh,
points.
yes. Okay, bonus question. So this is where Christian can
This is worth 2 points.
can catch up and maybe beat me here. Okay, if Christian had an OnlyFans,
Only fams.
she spelled it OnlyFams. New app idea, OnlyFams.
Yeah, only my fams.
Yeah. Okay, OnlyFans. If Christian had an OnlyFans, what kind of content would he make? Short answers are acceptable. Oh wait, this is where I get to catch up, huh? Shoot. Oh wait, I'm already winning.
You're up 3 to 2.
Oh, okay, okay.
Ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
What? Sell skid mark underwear?
Yep. Easy money.
I put that he would sell feet pics. But
Wait,
you know what?
is
That's
that my
actually quite
eraser?
that's you know what? Yours oh shoot. I just dropped my
Bailey's got a new
my
stripe.
marker. Okay, here you go. I think that would be quite the business.
Yeah, I actually think that's illegal though. I don't think you can like.
Sell poopy underwear?
Yeah.
You know what? I have read things online that when you buy swimsuits, you know what? I actually bought some swimsuits from Amazon before. A long time ago, I did a review of some Amazon swimsuits, and I was so scared because some of the comments, the reviews, people said that they had ordered some and there was some poopy stains in there. But when I ordered mine, there was not any poopy stains. We'll confirm that.
Yeah, that's like super illegal.
Jeff Bezos keeps them clear, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
turn. Question
so this is
6.
where you could catch up.
Yeah. So the score now is Alec 3, Christian 2.
I just drew on a shirt on accident.
Bro, this is my
Shh, I'm sorry. It'll wash
one-piece
out.
shirt.
It's
dry erase.
yeah. Yes, it does. Dry erase washes out. Trust me.
All right, leave it in the comments section below. Does dry erase marker wash out?
It does. Also, I mean,
Close.
if not, I'll autograph it for you.
Yeah.
It does come out. I promise you.
Bonus question. Question 6.
Yes.
I should get a point for you drawing on me.
Okay, fine.
I mean,
It was too easy.
Yeah.
Give yourself a point. Go
all
ahead.
right, bonus question. If Alec had to choose between Bailey or shooting a film with Nat Wolff and Meryl Streep, which would she choose? Bro, 3 points.
3 points.
She's lying if I...
You think you know the answer?
Three, two, 1.
I would never give up my dog. The answer was Bailey.
Yeah.
No matter what. No matter what. No matter what the price was, no matter who I got to meet, who I got to hang out with, never, 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 never.
Yeah, I wouldn't let you get rid of the dog.
What is this? That's it?
Yeah, I won.
What?
Final score, Alec 3, me 4.
That's some bullshit. Whatever. You cheated.
Maybe you should have kept
You're
score.
a cheater. You gave yourself an extra point.
If you would have kept
We
score.
all know it. We all know I won. Just kidding. It's fine. Fair and square, Christian won.
I know more about you than you know about me.
Whatever. It was pretty close. It was pretty stale, actually, in the beginning. Not gonna lie. Anyway, that is our show. I hope you guys enjoyed this little fun competition. I'm sorry I'm a sore loser, but I am. Better luck next time to myself, I guess. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did enjoy, leave a comment that says, hi, it's Carl. Hi, I'm Carl.
Hi, I'm Carl.
And if you don't know where it's from Jimmy Neutron. Go watch it if you've never seen that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and always remember, life is better when you are a smart aleck.
Are you being smart with me? If you're being smart with me, young lady, you're gonna be punished.
Punished for being smart?
For being a smart aleck.